Hello. Have you ever wondered about why some people look so effortless and they look so put together all the time? You wonder if they're really working that much harder or if their clothes are more expensive, but there's just something about them that you have a hard time getting your finger on and you have a hard time doing yourself. Well, it's not that hard. What you can do is, if you follow a few tips and guidelines, you'll look more polished. The first one is the rule of 3, and that is color. So when I'm picking colors, I don't try to mix and match more than 3 colors. Now that doesn't mean that you wear all brown or all white or all blue or whatever, but you can wear shades of blue with like shades of green and shades of beige, and that'll work. But if you add another color, it gets to be a little visually overwhelming. And so if you stick to 3 colors, a lot of times I'll do 2 neutrals and a pop of color. But if you stick to 3, then you don't get that visual overwhelm and you just end up looking a little more polished. I just thought of one more tip along the same lines of color. In addition to only wearing 3 colors at a time, every color that you wear, I try to repeat twice. So that makes it look intentional. Instead of having a color only in my outfit in one item, I try to make sure that I have it in multiple items. So if I'm wearing, for example, if I'm wearing dark brown boots, I try to wear a dark brown belt or a dark brown bag. I try to repeat it more because then it looks intentional. The other one is also, the second one, number 2, is about balance and proportion. And what that is, you've probably heard this one before, but if you wear like a skinny fitted top on the top, you don't want to wear skinny jeans on the bottom because it's too much skinny. You want to kind of balance the proportions. So if you wear skinny on the top, you wear loose on the bottom, or like a wide leg on the bottom, or a fuller skirt on the bottom. That's an attractive, pleasing to the eye silhouette. And if you wear something, big on top, then you wear skinnier on the bottom. But if you go big and big, it just makes you look big. And if you go skinny and skinny, it can be a little constricting visually. And so you want to balance your proportions. There's also a balance on how much skin you're going to show. So my mom always said, pick a focal point. So you're either going to show, if you follow that rule that my mom gave me, you don't show your chest and your legs and your arms. You don't show it all off at one time. You pick one. So if you're going to go bare or low cut on the top, then you're going to go with pants or a longer skirt. You're not going to show off everything all at once. It cheapens the look when you show too much at one time, unless you're at the beach or something. But same thing with if you're going to go with a shorter skirt, then go higher on the neckline. Pick one, either legs or chest or arms. But when you show it all off at one time, it just makes the whole look less expensive and less polished. Number 3, this one's a good one. Number 3 is dressing for your silhouette. Now that's not the same as the balance one, that was number 2, but dressing for your silhouette means understanding what shapes and cuts and styles look the best on you, regardless of trends. I don't follow the trends strictly. I'll take inspiration from the trends and I'll see what's going on in the trends. But if it's a trend that I know won't be flattering on my body, I'll skip it. There's always another trend coming around the corner. The trend cycle's about, every 2 to 4 weeks. So if you don't like one, I promise you another one will be coming right behind it. That'll be different. But you want to know, like, if you have a tiny waist, if you have an hourglass figure, you want to show off your waist. If you have more of a rounded figure, you may not want to show off your waist. And people know, what looks good on you and what doesn't, and experiment, try on different things. And a lot of times if you take a picture of it, you can see it better than if you just look in the mirror. There's something about looking in the mirror when you're looking at yourself live versus either filming yourself or taking a picture of yourself. You get a really good look at how other people see you. There's something about the photograph. I don't know if it's because it flattens it out or because you're not moving, but you can see what's working and what's not. And you'll also notice things that you don't notice when you're in person. Like a lot of times when I'm filming, I'll notice that maybe my pant legs are a little too short or something's not fitting just right. And I didn't notice in person because in person I was looking at my face or I was looking at something specific. You know, your eyes focus in on whatever it is you want to look at. But when you look at a picture, it kind of gives you, it forces your eyes to look at the whole thing. Number 4 is jewelry balance. A little bit of jewelry goes a long way, and layering is fun. I'm wearing earrings today. I like to wear pearl earrings because they mimic the whites in your eyes and your teeth, and they make both look brighter, but I don't wear them all the time. But I always wear an earring because I have pierced ears and I don't want the holes showing. So I always put something in the hole. And then if I'm wearing a dangly earring and a high neckline, I probably won't wear it. Like today, I'm not wearing a necklace because it would be too much going on right here. If I was wearing studs and a lower neckline, then I probably would wear a necklace. So you want to kind of balance out how much jewelry you're wearing too. And like right now, I'm staying at home today, so I don't have very much on at all. No rings, no bracelets. But if I were leaving the house, I'd probably put a ring on and a bracelet, but I wouldn't put rings on every finger and I wouldn't put bracelets on each wrist. You kind of want to balance it out. I heard something a long time ago. I think it was a Coco Chanel quote. And she said, before you leave the house, look in the mirror and take one thing off, so you're not overdone. Which is kind of funny when you think about it, because Chanel is known for their over the top, too much jewelry, but she was an advocate for understated elegance. Number 5, one of my favorite ways to dress is in a monochromatic way. Like I'm doing that today. I'm wearing a tan athleisure suit. I'm staying home, and I've got a cozy little sweater on over it, and I've got some rose gold Birkenstocks, and I've got a cream colored headband, and that's considered a monochrome look. The cream is a little lighter, but it's all in the same color family. And what you can do to make that more interesting is use different textures. For example, my headband is like a woven raffia. The shirt and the pants match, and they're more of a stretchy material because it's loungewear. And then I've got texture in the sweater. If I were to leave, and I've got shine in the Birkenstocks because they're rose gold, they're metallic Birkenstocks. If I were to leave the house, my bag has brass studs on it. So you want to add, even if you're all the same color, adding texture and details make it more visually interesting. Number 7, hemlines and length tricks. If your hemline hits at the narrowest part of your leg, my mom taught me this one. She said, like your leg at the thigh, it comes in to your knee, and then you got your knee, and then it goes in again right under the knee, and then it goes out for your calf, and it goes in again for your ankle. Where it goes in, like at the ankle and just under the knee, are more attractive spots. If you end the line where you're narrowing, it makes you look narrower. But if you end the line at the widest part, like if you end your hem like right in the middle of your knee where it's wide, or right in the middle of your calf where it's wide, it's not as attractive and it makes you look frumpier. So I always keep that in mind when I'm wearing hemlines. Either right above the knee where it starts to go in to get ready for the knee, or right below the knee, or at the ankle. Those are going to be your most flattering ankle lengths. I learned that one from my mom. Also, I love buying inexpensive, trendy pieces to freshen up my wardrobe, but every year I also buy a few investment pieces. So this last spring and summer, I got rid of most of my clothes because I thought I was moving to a farm. So I needed to rebuild my wardrobe. Well, I didn't have money to rebuild my wardrobe at Nordstrom. So I went to Temu and I got a lot of filler pieces. I'm also trying to lose weight. I'm probably 2 sizes larger than I would really like to be. So I didn't want to spend a ton of money on pieces that I was hoping would only be worn for a season or 2. So I bought the majority of them at Temu. But now that my wardrobe is full, I'm slowly upgrading some of the pieces to nicer things. And when I get to my goal weight, I'm going to give myself permission to buy even more. But I'm trying to buy transitional pieces. But if you're at the weight that you want to be and you've got a full wardrobe, then you want to spend your money on, or I would want to spend my money on things that look a little nicer. So for me, I would spend my money on a really great pair of jeans because I wear jeans all the time. Or what I have been spending, like I just bought a bunch of sweaters, and I looked for natural fibers because they wear better and they pill less. I hate when sweaters get those little balls all over them, and that's usually an acrylic problem. It can be a wool problem too, or a cashmere problem, but I make sure that I keep those pills off of my sweaters. I have a little sweater shaver, and if I see one coming, I shave them off. But the nicer fabrics that you buy do that less. And so I've been buying merino wool and cashmere and cotton as a preference over the acrylics and the polyesters, because the acrylic and the polyester just doesn't wear as well. And so it's great for filler, it's great for a season or for trendy pieces, but for things that are going to last longer, that you're going to wear all the time, like for me, it's jeans and sweaters and outerwear. Those are things that I'll wear season after season. And so I try to buy those in classic styles in good quality fabrics. Number 9, maintenance matters. Taking good care of your clothes, keeping them clean. If you see a spot, dealing with the spot, not just throwing your clothes in the laundry and hoping for the best, but actually taking the time to pre-treat stains and to shave the little balls off sweaters if they come up. Polishing your shoes, getting rid of scuffs. If you have a purse and it's scratched or it looks kind of banged up, putting leather conditioner on it if it's leather, cleaning it up. Those types of things go a long way in your overall look, as far as making you look polished and cleaner and fresher and just more put together. And also, I don't buy any clothes that need dry cleaning anymore. When I was working in the car business, I had a lot of dry clean clothes, and I also had a dry cleaners that had $1 per item dry cleaning. Well, those days are gone. And now if you have a blouse here in Los Angeles, it's going to cost you $12 every time you want to clean it. I'm out on that. So I buy things that can be washed, either hand washed or preferably machine washed, and thrown in the dryer or hung to dry or lay flat. I'm willing to do the hand washing, but I just don't want to spend the money on the dry cleaning. It's not good for the environment. And even when they use the environmentally friendly stuff, I can't afford it. So I skip anything that says dry clean only, with the exception of outerwear, because outerwear, I'm only going to get it cleaned once a season usually, before I store it at the end of the season. And I don't really get it mucky. I'm not eating in it usually, and I don't get spills on it. But the outerwear, I'll go ahead and buy if it's a nice wool coat and it needs to be dry cleaned. But my everyday clothes, my sweaters, my wool sweaters, I'm going to hand wash. My jeans, I'm going to throw in the laundry. And it's just an easier, less expensive way to go for me. Number 10, tailoring and fit. Know your inseam. If you know what your inseam is, you can avoid a lot of hemmed pants. I'm short. I didn't used to be as short. When I was in high school, I thought I was 5'5.5". And now every time I go to the doctor, he tells me I'm 5'4". So I guess I've lost 1.5 inches somewhere. But that means that pants right off the rack, the regular length is usually too long. Now, if I buy the regular length and I plan to wear it with heels, which, let's face it, I don't do very often anymore, then they're fine. They're the perfect length with heels. But since the majority of my outfits are going to be worn with flats or low boots or sandals that are flat, I need about 2 inches less. And so by knowing the easiest way to figure out your inseam is to grab a pair of pants out of your closet that fits you perfectly, that hit at the right spot, and then pull out a tape measure and go up to the crotch and all the way down to the hem and measure that. And that's your perfect inseam. And so I know mine is around 29 or 30. 28 will give me more of an ankle visibility, which is fine if I'm wearing boots or sandals and I want a cropped look. but 30 will come all the way to the top of my heel, and it's perfect for me. 32, I'm going to have to put some heels on. So I know that when I'm shopping, and when I'm looking at pants, I'll click on the drop down under the product description, and I'll look for the inseam, because that saves me what, $20 at the tailor to get them right. With jeans, you can also cut them off. If you like that raw hemmed look, that's very easy to do at home. The easiest way to do that is to figure out where your inseam is, get a little piece of chalk and mark it, and then go a little bit more, because when you cut it off and they fray, that's going to naturally shorten the hem of the jeans. But you can just measure straight across, and the easiest way to do it is to make that first little cut on the end and then fold it and cut and fold it, and you can use the fold line as a guideline, and that just makes it easy to cut. I've done that a lot of times. But you do want to give yourself a little bit of room for fraying. And then as your jeans fray, trim the long threads. You know, like I'll get a little bit of fraying, I'll let it go about that much. But then all those long stringy pieces that'll make your look like a mess, I just trim those off, and I trim them to the length of the rest of the hem. You still have the frayed, uneven look, but it's just a little neater. And so that's something I do. And then also, you know, check your arm lengths. It's worth it if you buy a great blazer, but the sleeves are just a little bit too long, it's gonna make you look sloppy. But if you go to a tailor and you spend $20 usually, everything is $20 at the tailor, it seems, they'll make the length the right length. And when the length is the right length, it makes it look like you're wearing your own clothes, not your big sister's clothes. So tailoring is important. Tailoring and fit will make an inexpensive item look more expensive. I've got a couple Temu blazers that I really like, but the sleeves are a little bit long. And so even though the tailoring is probably going to cost about the same as I spent on the blazer, it's worth it, because the blazer is going to instantly look like a much more expensive blazer just because it fits right. The number 11, confidence is your best asset. If you're wearing something that makes you feel good, then it's easier to walk into a room and own it. If you're wearing something that makes you feel uncomfortable, if it's too small or too big or too tight or too loose or too whatever, and you don't feel quite right in it, don't wear it. Wear the things that make you feel fantastic. Own them. And if you have a certain flair for animal print and animal prints out, wear your animal print. If you like metallics, wear your metallics. If you like a red lip, wear your red lip. Do what makes you feel like you and makes you feel happy. And don't worry about what anybody else thinks, because they're not really thinking about what you're wearing anyway. They're thinking about what you think about what they're wearing. So don't even worry about that. Just do what makes you feel happy and own it and get your confidence up, because that's the best accessory you can have. And then 12 is for the ladies who think they can shower 2 or 3 times a week and it's fine. I have a friend like that. She has very dry skin and very dry hair, and so she only washes her hair once a week, and she bathes about once a week, and she thinks that she doesn't smell and she doesn't have a problem, but she does. There's a little bit of mustiness. When you start to get that funk and you start to get a little musty, you're going to be the last one to smell it, because it's happened gradually right under your nose, literally right under your nose. So just take the shower. Be clean. People notice. And smelling fresh makes any outfit look better. And no amount of high dollar items are going to overcome body odor. So if you're a little musty and you may not even know it, just take the shower. So I never did tell my friend that she was musty. I didn't know how. How do you tell somebody, hey girl, you're a little funky? But I know that a lot of women, when they get older, they skip the showers. You know, I know that when I was in the workforce, everybody talked about, when I was in my shower this morning, everybody talks about the daily shower. And I've noticed a shift as I got older, that fewer people are having their daily shower. And they think that it's okay because they think their hormones have changed and they don't smell strong body odor. But even without strong body odor, you can still get a little musty old lady smell. So take the shower. And medication will do that too. If you drink, if you smoke, if you're on medication, all of those things will give your body a little bit of an aroma that the people around you don't appreciate. So just take the shower. Hygiene is a must. It's not something you can skip, and it's not something you can slow down on as you get older. So those are my 12 tips. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope one or two of them are new to you. And if not, I'll see you next time, and I hope you have a great day.